Hey guys, welcome back. Last time we talked about the honor in a family name. We talked about being a child of God, and I just want to sit in that for another day. I was thinking about what I was going to talk about with that, and I was trying to think like, do I put any pressure on my kids? Is my family name, is the honor in that important to me, and how do I do that? To my kids, do I do that to my kids? Because I never really like felt that with my family. My dad and my mom were very much like, they were behind me with whatever I wanted to do. There was never a ton of pressure. And so I was just trying to think of examples to share. And the only example I could think of, because I really only have like one failure as a father. No, but one thing I thought of is like when we go out to eat, my son loves spaghetti. And we'll go to Carrabba's, and he hasn't figured out really how to eat it with a fork yet. And so he eats it with his hands. And while he's eating it with his hands, I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like I'm embarrassed. And I'm not like embarrassed of him, but I'm like embarrassed of like, man, people are looking and they're thinking that I'm a bad father because I haven't taught my kid how to eat spaghetti. And here he is, just kind of like eating it like a child. And I kind of am just embarrassed by it. And his hands are all messy and his face is all messy. And to the point where I was like, I don't want him eating spaghetti in public till he can learn how to eat spaghetti. And it's a small thing and it's stupid. But God was just showing me, he was like, let me just show you how I look at him when he's eating spaghetti. And I just saw it was like God was me. And his hands he was just sitting like this at the table, propped up, and just kind of like looking at Flynn, but with this just look of love. And he was just like enthralled with Flynn. And he wasn't thinking about anyone else. He was just looking at Flynn. And his thoughts toward Flynn while he ate spaghetti was just like, I'm so proud of him. Like, he hasn't learned how to eat spaghetti yet, the accepted way, the proper way. But he saw a problem and he figured it out his way and he's doing it. You're doing it. You're so smart. And these were God's thoughts towards Flynn as he did this thing that embarrassed me. God was proud of, and just watching, I love watching how his mind works. I love watching how he figured it out. I just love watching him do his thing. And man, I just felt so embarrassed of my thoughts toward him. But then God was like, and I was like, yeah, that's a good example. Because sometimes as pastors, you're like, man, God speaks to you and you're like, man, what a great sermon. What a great example. And you think of how could I tell people this? And God was just like, yeah, but that's how I feel about you. That's how I feel about you too. And I was overwhelmed because it's a small example, but I think no matter how old we get, we have these problems. We have these things we have to tackle that we don't know how to tackle yet. And we might feel out of our league. We might feel like people are looking at us like we're stupid or like we're ill-equipped. We're not going to handle it. We feel overwhelmed. And maybe we feel like everyone's looking at us and we just can't do this thing. I'm here to tell you, no matter how old you get, you're going to have this feeling sometime in your life. And I just saw God looking at me and being like, I'm proud of you. You're going to do it. You're going to get it. I'm not going to let you. Flynn's going to learn how to eat spaghetti with a fork. But he's like, you're going to get it. And I just love watching you. I just love watching you. I made you. And I love watching you figure it out. And I know you're going to get it. And I'm so proud of you. And I was just overcome with his love for me. And I don't know if you've ever been overwhelmed or overcome with the love God has for you. But if you've been walking with God for some time, you'll experience this where you're just overwhelmed. I can't believe you love me so much. And that's my hope for you today. I want you to just be overwhelmed and overcome with how much God loves you. With how much he just is pulling for you and with you and just watching you. And you might feel overwhelmed or feel like you're going to fail at something. And he's just like, I'm going to help you. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. But while you do it, I love watching you. I love walking with you on this path. And I'm so proud of you. Have you ever felt that before from your parents? Have you ever felt like, man, that they're just so proud of you for who you are? And I hope you felt that, but that's how God feels about you. He loves you, and he's going to walk you through it. And you might feel like an idiot sometimes, or that you're never going to get it, but you're going to get it. He's going to help you along, but he just loves you so much, he's enthralled with you. And he's not worried about anything else out here or how anybody else thinks or sees you. He's just watching you like this. That's my child. That's my child, and I love them so much. And I hope that you get that today. I hope that you are overwhelmed with the presence of God and overcome by his love today.